I'd like to make this video to talk about what I believe is one of the best, if not the best, horror franchises ever made, and that is Alien. Now, Alien has shaped horror as a genre ever since the first movie came out in 1979. Now, I wasn't alive for that, I was only born in 2001, but quite recently I rewatched all of the Alien movies, Prometheus, Alien Covenant, and the new Alien Romulus. And it feels like the opinions have changed on a lot of them. I see a lot of people are either great fans of Romulus or completely hate it. I lie somewhere different compared to what people think. And I'd like to talk about them, ranking them from their worst, which I think is going to be quite obvious, to their best. And there's also something I'll talk about later on in the video, a piece of Alien media, which is amazing and should be adapted into a movie at one point. But to get the list to it going, let's start off with the worst Alien movie.
Oh! Ew! What the fuck?
Alien Resurrection is the fourth Alien movie, fourth in the franchise, and set 200 years after Alien 3. After the events of Alien 3, Ellen Ripley is cloned along with the alien queen that was growing inside her, which was revealed in Alien 3. Obviously, this alien creature is taken out of her, and she's brought upon a spaceship, which is like using human hosts brought to them by mercenaries. It's a very weird feeling movie. I don't think it needed another Alien movie after 3. Didn't even need one after 2. But for them to go this route was quite strange. We find out that this Ripley is the 8th Ripley that they've cloned, and she actually has some abilities related to the xenomorphs. You know, more superior physical abilities, and she has acidic blood, which is a major thing of the xenomorphs. And the movie takes this weird horror turn where the queen that they took out of her gives birth to this new xenomorph with human traits, and it looks so gross. Right at the end, she's able to kill it, and the crew lands on Earth, what remains of it at least, and Earth is completely fucked. But since this is set so far after the other Alien movies, it really feels out of place. I hate to say it's a terrible movie, but it's not great. I don't know what they were thinking.
This is boring. Do something fun.
But on to number 6 on our list, and for this I've chosen Alien Covenant. Alien Covenant is a direct sequel to Alien Prometheus, and it deals with the consequences of that movie, what happens to the main character of that movie and the android. And it definitely returns back to the more traditional horror route of Prometheus, which isn't too bad. It has more of a grim ending where this robot takes over and starts using the colonists that are in hypersleep as experimental subjects. I don't know if they're going to go anywhere with this line of Alien movies because the reception wasn't the greatest for Alien Covenant. It wasn't too great for Prometheus either. But we'll have to see if they come back to them in the future. From what I know, these are set before the mainline Alien movies. One thing I do have to mention is the visuals. I'll touch on it rather more in Prometheus, because that's further up on the list.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
For number 5 on my list, I have Alien 3, or Alien Cubed if you go by the tagline. Now, Alien 3 is set not long after Aliens, which is the sequel to Alien, and Ripley, along with the other survivors from Alien 2, land on this prison planet, with Ripley being the only survivor of the landing. Eventually, we find out that an alien was able to impregnate, but put an embryo inside her while she was in her cryosleep. And right at the end of the movie, she sacrifices herself to kill the alien queen grown inside her. Now, despite Alien Resurrection undoing the sacrifice, I think it works very well in Alien 3. And I think with a lot more time given to the script, it could have done so much better. it falls flat when it comes to the writing and the necessity. I mean, it did away a lot of the progress of Alien 2, which I wasn't a fan of.
Who's that handsome devil?
Now we're on to number 4 on my list, and I've chosen Prometheus. Now, as far as we know, Prometheus is the earliest set movie in this franchise. We are getting Alien Earth coming out later this year, which I think might be set before Prometheus, but I'm not sure. This basically follows a team of people being sent to the planet called, well, it's not called Prometheus, but their ship's called Prometheus, and to survey something left behind by the engineers, which are explained to be these creatures that created humanity. It really gets out there with the lore of it all. It's not the smartest, but it works well, and the visuals of the movie definitely carry it. The movie is beautiful, and I don't use that lightly. The cinematography, the CGI, the landscapes, and the set pieces look incredible. And the movie has a pretty cool ending where this alien bursts out of the dead engineer, and I don't think they go anywhere with it. If I remember by one of the comics, it becomes a mountain, which also doesn't make much sense, but yeah, it's not too bad.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Onto my number 3 pick of the list, we have Alien Romulus. Alien Romulus is the latest movie in the series, and this has gotten a bit of a mixed reception. I've seen a lot of critics praise the movie, and I know it did really well in the box office, and when I first watched it, I loved it. It was really good. A return to the roots of Alien 1. But now that I'm looking back on it, it was a bit too much a return to the roots. This group of like ragtag people come aboard the Romulus because they want to, they want to make money off of it to get away from their shitty planet that's run by Weyland-Yutani. And the Romulus took in a cocoon from the Nostromo. This is set after Alien 1. And obviously this cocoon hatches, and we go through the whole thing of aliens attacking the crew one by one, but it's very derivative of the first movie. They call back to it constantly, and I can understand why they're trying to do that, but I feel like it does harm it a bit, because now people are going to just see it as copying the first movie. And they did the thing again right at the end with a hybrid alien that's not a xenomorph and looks weird. Not a big fan of that, but other than that, it's a good movie. Here is one where I want to take a slight tangent from the movies to talk about a game. Alien Isolation. Everyone knows about this game. It came out in 2014, if I believe, and you play as the daughter of Ellen Ripley and her encounter with the alien, the xenomorph. It's on a much more horror side compared to Aliens, which took a more action horror approach, and it works very well. It's a very long horror game compared to other horror games of the time and even now, but it's definitely worth playing. If they ever adapted this into a movie 1-for-1, I would place it at number 3 on the list, just below Alien 2, but for now, it's good on its own. Go play it if you want more Alien content, and if you for some reason haven't played it yet.
Get tactical, Marines!
But now back to the regular movies, and we have Aliens, or Alien 2. Alien 2's the direct sequel to Alien 1, obviously. Ripley awakens after half a century in hypersleep, and finds out that the company has now started to terraform the planet where they found the alien cocoon in the first movie. She's sent with a group of colonial marines to investigate, and they found a survivor, which is just a young girl. They have to fight these aliens and escape, and it still plays into the horror vibe, but you can see there's a lot more action. I mean, instead of fighting just one alien, there's hundreds. And you see that the alien's actually quite easy to kill if you have conventional weapons, but they still get overwhelmed, and only Ripley, Newt, and I think one other guy escape. This is undone in Alien 3, where everyone's killed off except for Ripley, but if you watch just Alien 1 and 2 completely on their own, it's perfect.
And I gotta tell you, it was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
Next we have the best Alien movie and the first Alien movie. I mean, it's a classic story. If you don't know Alien or haven't watched it, you've been living under a rock for the past 50 years. This crew aboard the Nostromo is returning to Earth when they get an order to investigate this nearby planet, because they got a transmission from it. They investigate it, and eventually there's all these eggs on the planet. One of the crew gets attacked by a facehugger attached to his face, and they take him on board. And the facehugger eventually detaches, but sometime later he has a chest burster that kills him and escapes onto the ship. This chest burster grows into the first alien that we see in this entire franchise. And the amount of the horror comes down to the crew being killed off one by one, with just Ripley surviving. Ripley also gets a huge distrust for androids because of the way the android on this ship act. But she's able to escape with just her cat as the Nostromo explodes. Romulus also screwed up by having even anything left of the Nostromo, because as we see in this movie, it's incinerated. On its own as a horror movie, this is one of the best horror movies ever made. It still looks good. The design of the alien is still scary, even 50 years on, and the acting is still incredible. Ellen Ripley is one of the best female action horror characters ever written, and it's something that even nowadays writers can't seem to capture. But hopefully Alien Earth, when it comes out this year, is going to be good. We'll just have to wait and see and be positive for the future. Romulus did well enough that we're far from seeing the end of this franchise, and I hope we see a lot more, at least well written, nothing compared to Resurrection or Alien 3. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know, and I'll see you in the next one. There was a lot of fun making a video on Alien, and I might cover the horror movie series in time, but for now, I'm happy with this video, and I hope you are happy with my picks. Let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments below. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Bye!